welcome to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on iOS 18.4.
Right. It follows that huge iOS 18 release, the one with all the Apple intelligence buzz.
Exactly. And, it's easy to just skim over these point releases.
But that's often where you find some really useful little tweaks, hidden gems almost.
Totally. So we've dug through a bunch of stuff. CNET, TechCrunch, The Verge, PC Mag UK, even Reddit discussions.
And those YouTube deep dives from Mac Rumors and MKBHD, of course.
Of course. The goal here, find the most useful, maybe overlooked hidden features in 18.4 for you.
Yeah, the stuff that might actually make using your iPhone a bit smoother, maybe give you that little aha moment.
It's interesting how these small updates really refine the whole experience, isn't it?
It really is. It shows that ongoing evolution. Sometimes the subtle stuff makes the biggest daily difference.
Okay, let's dive right in. First up, the Control Center. It's had a bit of a makeover in 18.4.
It has, yeah. One of the first things you might spot is a new power button, top right corner.
A power button in the Control Center.
Yeah, press and hold it and you get the restart option, so no need for the physical button combo anymore.
Ah, okay. That volume plus side button thing could be a bit awkward sometimes.
Exactly. Though, keep in mind, you do still need the physical side button to actually power it back on after it shuts down.
Right. Good distinction.
Yeah.
But the restart itself is easier. And I heard there's more customization now, too.
Oh, definitely. Big focus on customization. You can change the layout, resize controls, move them around.
So make it fit how I use it.
Pretty much. Marquis Burnley showed it off well. You can really tweak the size and placement.
Nice.
Now, initially, it looks like it's mostly Apple's own app controls you can add and resize.
Okay.
But the expectation is that third-party developers will get access eventually. Imagine adding controls for your favorite apps right there.
Ooh, that could be super powerful. Quick access stuff.
Could be a real time saver, yeah.
And the customization spills over onto the lock screen too, right? Those bottom buttons.
Spot on. You can finally change the default flashlight and camera buttons on the lock screen.
Finally. So I can swap one out for something I actually use more often.
Exactly. A small thing, maybe, but it makes it feel a bit more yours right from the start.
Definitely. Okay, tailored controls. That's a good start. Now, something that drives everyone crazy. Sharing Wi-Fi passwords. Sounds like 18.4 has a slicker way.
Yeah, the classic Wi-Fi password dance. Apple's trying to simplify it. The new way uses QR codes.
QR codes. Okay, tell me more.
Well, think about having guests over. Instead of slowly reading out capital P ampersand 37, you just show them a code.
Ah, I see. And CNET mentioned this has other benefits too, not just convenience.
Right. Big one is sharing with multiple people at once. Everyone just scans the same code.
Okay, that's much better than texting it individually.
Yes, and it works for people not in your contacts. Even better, it works with Android devices too.
Oh, wow. Cross-platform Wi-Fi sharing. That is a big deal. Solves that awkwardness.
Totally bridges that gap where AirDrop isn't an option.
So how do you actually make this QR code appear? Where is it hidden?
It's pretty straightforward. You go into the Passwords app, which has gotten some love itself.
Okay.
Find the Wi-Fi section, tap the network you want to share, and there should be an option like Show Network QR Code.
And they just point their camera at it?
Yep. Their phone scans it, and boom, they're connected. Nice and smooth.
Very elegant. Okay, speaking of light, the flashlight. It's getting more versatile.
It is. This is one of those cool little tweaks. If you've got an iPhone with the dynamic island.
So the 14 Pro, 15 series, presumably the 16s.
Exactly. Those models now let you adjust the width of the flashlight beam.
Beam width. I knew about brightness, but width. How does that work? What's the point?
You can basically choose between like a wide spread out beam for illuminating a bigger area.
Okay.
Or a narrower, more focused, intense beam for pinpointing something specific.
Huh. I can see that being useful. Maybe even for like quick photos in the dark.
Yeah.
CNET mentioned that, I think.
Could give you a bit more control over lighting in a pinch.
So how do you control it? Is it complicated?
Nope. Super intuitive. Turn the flashlight on like normal. In the dynamic island, swiping up and down still does brightness.
Right.
But now, swiping left or right across the dynamic island changes that beam width, wider or narrower.
Oh, neat. Using the island for that horizontal control makes sense. And tapping it still turns it off.
Yep. Tap anywhere on the island, toggles it on and off.
Cool. Okay, let's switch gears to notifications. Those AI summaries from earlier iOS 18 updates. 18.4 gives us more control.
That's right. The idea of AI summarizing notifications sounds good, but, well, it wasn't always great in practice.
Yeah, sometimes you need to see every single text message, right? Or news alerts.
Exactly. And Apple seemed to realize that because back in 18.3, they actually turned off summaries completely for news apps.
Oh, okay.
But now in 18.4, you get much finer control over which apps get summarized.
So I can choose. How does that work? Can I turn summaries off for specific apps?
Yep, directly from the lock screen. If you get a summary you don't like, just swipe left on it. Tap the options button that shows up and then choose Turn Off App Name Summaries.
Nice. So I get the individual notifications from that app again.
Exactly. Back to the old way, just for that app. It's much more flexible.
That's a very welcome change. Sometimes summaries just hide the important bits. Okay, moving on. AirTags. Sharing them is finally a thing.
It is. Big request, this one. With iOS 18, you can share your AirTags location with up to 6 other people.
6 people. Wow. So like for shared keys or luggage when traveling as a family.
Perfect examples. Shared bikes, bags, whatever, make tracking communal items much easier.
How do you set up the sharing?
It's in the Find My app. Go to the AirTag you want to share, look for Share AirTag, tap Add Person.
They just pick contacts.
Yep, choose your contacts, hit Share. They get an invite on their device, they accept, and then it shows up in their Find My app too.
Sounds simple enough. Any privacy things to be aware of? Sharing location data is always a bit sensitive.
Good point. One key thing. The people you share with don't get those AirTag found moving with you notifications for that specific shared AirTag.
Ah, okay. So it won't constantly ping them if they're carrying the shared keys, for example.
Exactly. It seems like a balance between the sharing utility and avoiding unnecessary, potentially annoying alerts for the people you're sharing with.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk battery health. We all obsess over it. There's a new charging limit option.
There is. You know how iPhones have optimized battery charging already? Tries to learn your routine.
Yeah, holds off charging past 80% until closer to when you wake up.
Right. Well, iOS 18.4 adds a manual override. You can now set a hard limit yourself, 80%, 85%, 90%, 95%, or just the full 100%.
So I can tell my phone, hey, just stop charging at 85%. Why would I want to do that?
The main idea is potentially extending the battery's overall lifespan. Lithium-ion batteries don't love being kept at 100% charge all the time.
Right, it stresses them out over the long term.
Exactly. So keeping it slightly below full consistently might help it degrade slower. It's about long-term health.
Okay, interesting. Where do I find this setting?
It's under Settings Battery Charging. You'll see the options there.
Got it.
But here's the catch. If you choose any limit below 100%, it turns off the optimized battery charging feature.
Oh, so it's one or the other. Either the smart optimized charging or a hard manual limit.
Pretty much. You trade the convenience of the phone figuring it out for the potential long-term benefit of a strict lower limit.
Okay. Something to consider.
Eh.
Now, voice memos. Capturing quick thoughts. Sounds like it's getting a big upgrade.
Huge upgrade, yeah. The Voice Memos app in iOS 18 can now automatically transcribe your recordings, turns the audio into text.
Whoa, seriously? Like right in the app?
Right in the app. It's a massive improvement for just finding stuff later.
I bet. So how accurate is it? And how does it actually help?
Accuracy will vary, based on recording quality, background noise, the usual stuff.
Sure.
But the big deal is searchability. The transcriptions are searchable. You can look for specific words or phrases inside your voice memos.
Okay, that's useful. No more scrubbing through audio trying to find that one bit.
Exactly. And it gets better. The transcripts are indexed by the main iOS search, too.
So if I search from my home screen,
it'll find matching words inside your voice memos transcripts. Pulls them right up.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
How do you actually get it to transcribe?
Pretty easy. Open a memo in the Voice Memos app. Tap the Edit Recording button, looks like a waveform usually. Or hit the 3 dots menu and choose Edit.
Okay.
In the Edit view, you'll see a Transcribe button. Just tap that. If it's already done, you'll see the text there. Tap Done when you're finished.
Brilliant. Makes voice notes so much more practical. Okay, switching to visuals, the home screen. You can hide app labels now for a cleaner look.
Yep. If you prefer that minimal icon-only look, iOS 18 lets you hide the text labels under the app icons.
Nice. Some people find those labels distracting. How do you do it?
Just long press on a blank spot on your home screen till the icons wiggle edit mode. Tap Edit down at the bottom, then Customize. You'll see options for icon size. Choose large.
And choosing large automatically hides the labels.
Bingo. Makes the icons a bit bigger and removes the text. And it does the same for folder labels in the app library too, apparently.
Cool. A simple tweak for a cleaner vibe.
Yeah.
Now, for phones with Apple Intelligence, there's something about prioritizing notifications.
Right. This taps into the AI smarts. If your iPhone supports it, you can turn on a feature that tries to figure out which notifications are more important.
How does it do that? And what happens to them?
It analyzes them and puts the ones it thinks are high priority in a special section right at the top of your lock screen so they stand out.
Oh, okay, so they don't get buried. Do they look different?
Yeah, they apparently get a subtle little color glow around them too, just to draw your eye.
What kind of stuff gets prioritized? Like missed calls, urgent messages?
Seems like it, yeah. Missed calls, texts, maybe important emails, and potentially alerts from third-party apps you use a lot.
How do you turn that on?
It's in Settings Notifications, Prioritize Notifications. Toggle it on there.
Could be useful for cutting through the noise. Okay, home screen again. Turning an app icon into a widget. Sounds easier now.
Much easier, yeah. If an app already has widgets available, you can swap the icon for a widget right there on the home screen. No digging through the widget gallery.
Well, that's handy. Saves a few steps. How does the swap work?
Just long press the app icon like you're going to move it. The Quick Actions menu pops up.
Okay.
If widgets are available, you'll see the app icon, and next to it, one or more widget icons for that app. Just tap the widget icon you want, and boom, the app icon gets replaced by that widget.
Slick. And can you change it back easily?
Yep. Long press the widget, and in its Quick Action menu, you'll see the app icon on the left. Tap that, and it switches back to just the icon.
Very neat. Makes customizing with widgets much faster. Okay, music identification. Using the action button for Shazam.
That's right. If you've got an iPhone with the action button, you know, the customizable one.
Yeah, on the Pro models recently.
You can now assign it to Recognize Music, which uses Shazam. It's a super quick way to ID a song playing nearby.
Well, that's cool. Like you hear something in a cafe, just press the button. No unlocking or asking Siri.
Exactly. Very discreet. Just press and hold the action button for a second or two.
And how do you set that up?
Go into Settings Action button, swipe through the options till you find Recognize Music, and select it.
Simple.
Yeah.
And where does the song info show up?
It appears right in the dynamic island at the top. Super convenient.
Very cool use of that button. All right, let's talk photos. It's always getting tweaked. Sounds like iOS 18 brings big organization and search improvements.
Definitely. The Photos app is getting a pretty significant revamp, especially around finding stuff. If you scroll down your library, there's a new Utilities section.
Utilities, what's in there?
Tap into that and you can swipe through new categories, things like handwriting.
Oh, so it finds pictures of notes.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Also, illustrations, though, CNET said that might catch some screenshots, too. And categories for documents, receipts, and even QR codes.
Wow, okay. That could make finding that picture of a receipt or whiteboard much easier.
Should do, yeah. TechCrunch also mentioned you can filter out screenshots entirely from your main view now.
Yes.
And there's automatic grouping for trips into a trips section, plus better grouping of people and pets.
Okay, getting smarter. What about search?
Search is improved too. Marquise Brownlee highlighted that it gives you suggestions now to help narrow things down as you type.
Nice. Sounds like it's becoming a much more powerful way to manage photos. Now, podcasts. Sharing a specific part of an episode.
Yes. This is another one of those quiet but potentially really useful features in the podcast app. You can share a link that starts the episode at a specific timestamp you choose.
Oh, that's great. So if I want someone to hear just one specific minute or segment.
Exactly. No more, hey, listen, starting around the 15-minute mark.
How do you do it?
Okay, so when you're listening, bring up the main Now Playing screen. Pause the podcast right where you want the share to start. Tap the More button, the three dots, then tap Share Episode. You'll see the episode title, and probably From Start below it. Tap From Start.
Okay.
Then choose the option that says From Current Time, which will be where you paused. Hit Done, then share it however you like. Messages, mail, whatever.
And the person who gets it sees an option to play from that time.
Yep, it should clearly say Play From Time when they open it in their podcasts app. TechCrunch also mentioned you might be able to share based on the transcript too.
Fantastic. Super useful for sharing key moments.
Okay.
Big one. App locking with Face ID. Native support. Finally.
Finally is right. This is a huge privacy win. iOS 18 lets you lock basically any app with Face ID or Touch ID if your phone has it.
And it's built in. Developers don't need to add support.
Correct. It's part of the OS. Works on pretty much any app you've installed.
Okay. How do you lock an app?
Just long press the app icon to get the Quick Actions menu. You should see a new option. Require Face ID.
Tap that, authenticate, and it's locked.
Exactly. There's also a Hide and Require Face ID option.
Ooh, what does that do?
That locks it and moves the icon to a special hidden folder in your app library. Plus, it stops notifications from that app. Super stealthy.
Wow. So if you hide it, you have to go to the app library's hidden folder to even find it.
Yep. And then authenticate with Face ID to open it?
And unlocking or removing the lock is just repeating the process.
Pretty much. Long press again, either the icon or in the hidden folder, and you can toggle it off.
That's a fantastic security addition. Okay, Safari. Distraction control. Sounds intriguing for web browsing.
It really does. The idea is to help you clean up web pages, hide all that distracting clutter.
Like what? Cookie banners, newsletter pop-up.
Exactly. Cookie banners, sign-up forms, those annoying autoplay videos, newsletter requests, all that stuff that gets in the way of actually reading the content.
Okay, I need this. How does it work? How do I turn it on?
There's a new little icon next to the URL in the address bar. Looks like a rectangle with 2 lines inside.
Ah.
Tap that icon, and you should see an option like Hide Distracting Items. Tap it, and Safari tries to zap that stuff away.
Does it just guess, or can I pick things?
It tries to be smart about it, but you might also be able to tap specific elements you want hidden after activating it.
And McRumors said you can bring things back if needed.
Yeah, apparently there's an option somewhere, maybe in the Safari search field, to show hidden items temporarily.
Okay, but this isn't like a permanent ad blocker, right? It's temporary for that session.
Correct. It's more like an on-demand cleanup tool for the page you're currently viewing. Refresh the page or come back later, and the stuff will likely be back.
And it's per device. Doesn't sync.
Seems so, yeah. Settings are just for that specific iPhone or iPad.
Still, sounds incredibly useful for just focusing on reading. Okay, besides those big ones, TechCrunch and MKBHD found a ton of smaller stuff too, right? Just rapid-fire improvements everywhere.
Oh, yeah. A whole slew of them. Little things that add up. Like in Settings, there's a dedicated apps menu now. Easier navigation.
Okay, good.
Photos app can suggest photos for wallpapers now. You can copy edits between photos. There's video speed control in Photos.
Copy edits. Nice.
Music keeps playing via Bluetooth even when you open the camera app now. That's handy.
Oh, finally.
New 5-second camera timer option. Messages get scheduled sending hidden in the plus menu.
Scheduled messages, yeah.
You can send full-res images up to 100 megabit in iMessage. New text effects and formatting. Messages via satellite when you're off-grid.
Wow, satellite messaging.
And pat-backs with any emoji or sticker you want.
Okay, that's a lot just for messages and photos. What else?
Safari gets more granular item removal beyond just distractions, summary highlights for articles, other highlights for people, music mentioned on pages. Weather app shows feels like more prominently more wind details, set homework from contacts. Siri can respond to message announcements on AirPods with head nods or shakes. Podcasts app lets you jump to chapters from the progress bar, easier queue management.
Head gestures for Siri. Interesting.
Maps gets topographic maps, hikes, offline national park maps, custom route creation and saving, place comparisons.
Offline maps for parks. That's huge for hikers.
Notes gets collapsible sections, audio recording in Notes, PDF search within Notes, colored highlighting, math equation solving, even graphs.
Math in Notes. Wow.
Mail groups, emails by sender, adds transactions, updates, promotions categories, cleanup tools. Keyboard gets better multi-language support, automatic switching, unified emojisticker search.
Okay, keep going.
Calculator app gets expression valuation variables, graphs, yes, on iPhone too, not just iPad. Remote device control permission for tech support.
Calculator getting serious.
Journal app gets mood logging, mindful minutes tracking, audio transcription, printing, widget reminders prompts. Calendar shows timed reminders, new day, week, month views. Reminders gets multilingual grocery lists, recently deleted lists, quick family list setup.
So many quality of life improvements.
Files app lets you keep specific iCloud stuff offline. Supports more external drive formats like APFS. Apple TV app gets Insight like Amazon's X-Ray. Enhanced dialogue feature too.
Insight, okay.
Home app gets hands-free unlock, time-based guest access, future ultra-wideband lock support. Accessibility gets eye tracking, custom voice commands, motion sickness reduction cues, music haptics.
Eye tracking is amazing.
And finally, game mode for better performance and lower Bluetooth latency.
Phew. That is an incredible amount of refinement packed in there.
Oh.
It really shows how much goes into even these point releases after the big number change.
Absolutely. It's not just one or two things. It's this broad sweep of enhancements across almost every part of the OS. It really polishes the whole experience.
Yeah, it touches everything from the Control Center basics to deep app features in Photos, Safari Notes, even gaming and accessibility, a constant process of improvement.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot today, trying to pull out some of those key features in iOS 18.4 that maybe didn't get the spotlight during the main iOS 18 launch.
And hopefully this deep dive gives you a better sense of what's new, why it matters, and how it might actually help you use your iPhone more effectively, maybe even more enjoyably.
Right. So the challenge now is for you, the listener, to actually go explore. Dive into your settings, try out that control center customization, see how the flashlight width feels, maybe lock an app or two with Face ID.
See how these smaller pieces fit together for you. Does hiding app labels make a difference? Does the Wi-Fi QR code save you hassle?
Yeah, think about how these cumulative updates shape your overall experience.
And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? With all these hidden details packed in, what else might Apple be subtly adding in future updates?
And how will AI continue to change things, making our phones even more personalized, more streamlined, maybe in ways we haven't even thought of yet?
Definitely something to ponder as iOS keeps evolving.
Some interesting food for thought. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.